All right, let's dive into the incredible evolution of something we use every single day, the internet. It really feels like it's just always been here, right? But its journey from a top secret military project to basically the global brain connecting all of humanity is one of the most fascinating stories of our time.
So, how in the world did that happen? I mean, think about it. How did a network that was literally designed to survive a nuclear attack become the very screen that you're watching this on right now? That is the incredible story we are going to unpack today. We're going to chart this whole journey through 5 key phases. We'll start with its secret origins, then see the moment it went public, then dive into the social revolution it created, then the era where it fit right in our pockets, and finally, we'll look at the intelligent frontier we're all exploring today. Okay, first up, a secret origin. And here's the thing, this story doesn't begin in some Silicon Valley garage. No, it starts during the Cold War, born out of the urgent need for a communication system that could survive, well, pretty much anything. The core idea that made this all possible was something called packet switching. Before this, network connections were like old-school telephone calls. You had one single dedicated line. If that line got cut, the conversation was over. Done. Packet switching was revolutionary because it broke data into these little packets, sent them out along any path that was open, and then just reassembled them at the other end. This meant you had a decentralized network that was just incredibly resilient by its very design. And this timeline shows you this was a slow, methodical build. It all kicked off in 1969 with ARPANET connecting just 4 universities. Then, through the 70s, 2 visionaries named Vint Cerf and Bob Kahn developed TCP/IP. Now, this was the masterstroke. Think of it as a universal language that let all these different isolated networks finally talk to each other. But the real turning point, the moment many people consider the true birth of the modern internet, was 1983. That's when TCP/IP became the official standard. All right, next up, the web goes public. So at this point, the internet existed, but let's be honest, it was an exclusive club for experts. This next phase is what blew the doors open for everyone. Before the 90s, using the internet was, well, it was a text-based world of command lines and really complicated protocols. It's so important to remember this. The network of connected computers, the internet, was already there, but actually using it was incredibly difficult. The World Wide Web was about to change all of that. And it all changed in 1991, thanks to a researcher named Tim Berners-Lee. He invented the World Wide Web by creating 3 simple but absolutely revolutionary tools. You had HTML, a language to build pages, HTTP, the protocol to move those pages across the network, and URLs, a standard address system so you could find any page you wanted. These 3 things working together, that's what we call the web. But the real magic wand in this story was the web browser. Programs like Mosaic took all that underlying code and turned it into a visual, graphical experience. For the first time, you could just point and click. This was the innovation that unlocked the internet for millions, kicking off the dot-com boom and the explosion of commercial online services. And all this public access led directly to our third major era, the social revolution. The internet transformed from a place where you just consumed information to a place where you actively created and shared it. This shows the fundamental shift perfectly. The early internet, what we call Web 1.0, was like a digital library, a place you went to read static information. Web 2.0, on the other hand, turned it into a read and write platform, completely built around user-generated content, collaboration, and community. And this shift, it gave rise to everything we consider central to the internet today. Social media, personal blogs, crowdsourced wikis, and all those collaborative online tools. All of a sudden, the user wasn't just a consumer anymore. They became the producer, the main event. All that creative power was then unleashed absolutely everywhere in our 4th phase, the internet in your pocket. This is when the internet became truly untethered and, well, omnipresent. The catalyst for this era was, of course, the smartphone. It didn't just give us internet on the go, it completely wove the network into the very fabric of our lives. I mean, think about it. It's our map, our camera, our wallet, and our constant connection to the entire world. But what's the engine that was powering this whole mobile revolution? The cloud. And the cloud isn't some abstract concept. It's a very real global network of absolutely massive data centers. This is the hidden infrastructure that enables streaming services, powerful apps, and global platforms so our little phones don't have to do all the heavy lifting.
And there is one more piece of invisible magic holding it all together: APIs. Just think of them as universal adapters that allow different apps to plug into each other and share information seamlessly. You know when your food delivery app uses Google Maps, or you log into a new service with your social media account? That's an API at work. They are the absolute glue of our modern app ecosystem. So, our final section brings us right up to today and looks toward what's next: the intelligent frontier. This is the point in the story where the internet starts to think. Right now, there are three huge forces shaping the internet, pulling it in new directions. First, you have artificial intelligence, making all of our digital tools more predictive and helpful. Second, the Internet of Things is expanding the network beyond our screens and into billions of everyday objects, from our watches to our appliances. And third, you've got these emerging Web3 concepts that are asking who should control this new world, exploring technologies like blockchain to create a more decentralized internet where users have more ownership. Of course, as the internet has grown up and become the central infrastructure of our society, it's also created a whole new set of really complex challenges. We're now grappling with massive questions about user privacy, cybersecurity threats, how to regulate these powerful global platforms, and even this idea of digital sovereignty. Who controls all this data and infrastructure? When we step back and look at the whole picture, the journey is just breathtaking. A network built for a few machines evolved to connect billions of people and all their knowledge. So, this leads us to one final question. After connecting machines and then connecting people, is the internet's final leap to connect everything?